Right.
Jarrett, what are you doing?
I hear voices. They're in my head.
You're crazy.
They talk to me.
What are they telling you?
They're telling me we need to do the top 15 matches in WrestleMania history. Let's kick it off with number 15. That's generally what you do in the bottom. And WrestleMania 3, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Macho Man Randy Savage defended against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. In my opinion, technical classic. 15 minutes of pure beauty.
Definitely. Great match. Great superstars. You know, what more can you ask for?
All right, take it out, number 14.
All right, number 14 is WrestleMania 2000, a triple
threat matchup.
Triple threat matchup. I got,
You're too excited.
I'm too excited.
Whoa!
Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho versus...
Why are you looking at me? Yes, he murdered his family. Yes, he did.
Benoit.
But he's still a good wrestler.
He was a great wrestler.
It was a two-fall matchup, European Championship and Intercontinental Championship on the line. Angle walked in with 2 titles, walked out with none.
But that's a shame.
I mean, think about it. You got 3 of the best wrestlers in the world right there.
Definitely.
On the biggest stage of them all.
Absolutely. Biggest stage of them all. That's what they call it.
No, that's what they call my dick.
Anyway.
Right, number 13. From the Sky Dome, WrestleMania 6 champion versus champion. Hulk Hogan defended the World Wrestling Federation Championship against the Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior. We're gonna analyze this matchup.
Analyze. Yes. Great match, brother. Hulk Hogan against the Ultimate Warrior. 2 amazing superstars. You know, Hulk Hogan, the innovator of the business, and the Ultimate Warrior. Man, that brings a tear to my eye.
You know, it gave Warrior his big push. Hogan passes the torch. And, you know, I've watched some of these videos of, top matches, and a lot of people are saying a reason this matchup is, on these lists is because Edge was sitting in the crowd.
Yeah.
You heard that reason?
Yeah, from a certain, 8-year-old.
He's like an 8-year-old kid.
In the UK,
You know. Guys, listen, I mean, if you're going to do this, unless you're NoDQ.com, leave it to us. Even they should probably leave it to us at times.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're number 12.
Number 12, WrestleMania 20, where it all began again in Madison Square Garden. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus the murderer Chris Benoit in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
You know, WrestleMania 20, a lot of big matches. Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker, Kane. The crowd was on fire for one of the greatest triple threat matches and the first triple threat match to main event WrestleMania.
Yes, absolutely.
Chris Benoit finally capturing the heavyweight title.
And may I point out that John Cena beat the Big Show for the United States Championship.
Possibly, one of my favorite WrestleManias back then.
Definitely.
It was a good WrestleMania. Yes. All right, we're number 11. It's Icon versus Icon. WrestleMania 18, back in the Sky Dome, The Rock and Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
I gotta tell you, man, The Rock and Hulk Hogan are very similar in their ways. The Rock of the 80s is the Hulk Hogan is to the 80s of what The Rock is to the late 90s and early 2000s.
Hogan, his second passing of the torch, and it was a cool match to watch. It was a cool match. The handshake, and it was a cool match. All right, number 10.
Number 10 was WrestleMania 22, a hardcore match between Edge, a great superstar who, let's hope he comes back soon, versus Mick Foley.
Many people believe that's the greatest hardcore matchup of this decade, maybe of all time. In TNA, they even mentioned it, they said Abyss and Mick Foley would beat this match. We watched the Bound for Glory Monsters Ball. Brutal matchup, but it did not beat the drama and the excitement that Edge and Mick Foley brought in.
There were tables on fire.
There were Sacos wrapped in barbed wire.
Yeah.
There was Lita's tits. Whoo! Not a good WrestleMania, by the way. Not a good WrestleMania.
Very good, yes.
WrestleMania 3, we go back to it for number 9. It's Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, 93,173, I think. If I'm right, I would feel so happy.
It's very impressive, my friend.
They saw Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant for the World Wrestling Federation title.
This match could be considered when the World Wrestling Federation really got into the mainstream.
I mean, think about it. They sold out the Pontiac Silverdome. 93,000 people saw, people say when Hogan beat the Sheik, it was the birth of Hulkamania, but this might have been the second coming of Hulkamania.
That's right.
All right, number 8 is you.
Number 8 is WrestleMania 10, brother versus brother, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
It was the first time ever at a WrestleMania that brothers collided, and to kick off the show. And it was in Madison Square Garden, and we saw a technical classic.
Absolutely, two tremendous wrestlers, one of them whose life was traumatically cut short.
Yeah, The Rock and Owen Hart. But The Rock and Owen Hart gets the win, and that counts as a roll-up. It was one of the matches, it's so good you can't pick a winner. It's a surprise roll-up, and it was a good matchup.
Very good.
But later that night, Bret Hart went on to win the World Wrestling Federation title. Speaking of Bret Hart, he's in our number 7 matchup. From WrestleMania 13, the submission match, Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ken Shamrock was special enforcer. This had chairs, had ring bells, had cables, had blood. It had everything you needed in a WrestleMania classic. And, I don't know about you, but to me, it built Steve Austin.
I agree. Putting him up with Bret Hart, one of the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be, gave him a great push and propelled him to his stardom. And
Austin never submitted. He passed out from the pain in that contest.
That's right.
Number 6, it's The Rock's... Oh, dude, you're supposed to announce this one.
Wow.
I'm getting excited. We're supposed to stop here.
Number 6, WrestleMania 17, one of the greatest rivalries of this decade, I think. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It was for the WWF Championship, and, it was the WrestleMania 15 rematch the fans, were dying to see.
WrestleMania 17.
Well, no, it was WrestleMania 15. They wrestled in 15 in the rematch. We're number 17.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah. But Stone Cold Steve Austin, a heel turn with Mr. McMahon at the end of the contest. This matchup was not as technically sound as the matchup at 15 or 19. It was brutal. It was violent. And it had, all the makings of a Stone Cold heel turn.
Absolutely. It was exhilarating.
It was shocking.
It was a slobber knocker.
Holy shit.
Let's hope JR comes back soon to SmackDown.
Hey, where is he at anyway?
He's sick.
Oh, okay.
He has his Bell's palsy is acting up.
Oh, that was fine for him. Number 5. We go back to WrestleMania 17. Tables, ladders, and chairs, oh my, part 2. Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys. For the WWF Tag Team titles, we had Lita in the matchup. Spike Dudley was involved. Rhino was involved.
3 of some of the greatest tag teams in history, if you ask me. Dudley Boys are,
23-time World Tag Team Champions.
That's right, with TNA now. IWGP Tag Team Champions. Great, entertaining match.
Jeff Hardy hanging from the championships. Edge spears him from the top.
Yeah.
Whew. That matchup made 6 stars in one night.
Yeah.
All right, number 4 is you.
Number 4 is the retirement match at WrestleMania 24. Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. Showstopper versus Icon. Mr. WrestleMania
versus the kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun.
That's right.
The only wrestling match where my prediction changed throughout the match. I predicted Shawn Michaels to begin the match, and halfway through, the seed of doubt was planted. I thought Flair would come out with it.
Just to show you how, Ric Flair still got it. And if he comes wrestling TNA, I think he can have some more great matches.
I almost cried in that match, I'm not going to lie.
Me too.
All right, we go back to Madison Square Garden for number 3. It's the undisputed Intercontinental Championship ladder match. The bad guy, Razor Ramon, one-on-one with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I think you know who I would be rooting for in this match. Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time, in my opinion.
But, it was a revolutionary concept. First time ever at a WrestleMania. First time on a pay-per-view. A ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. And, we look at the ladder matches now with, the springboards off the ladder and the Benjamin running up the ladder. Yeah. The things that they did in that match with the ladder were violent.
Absolutely.
When they hit each other with the ladder, they were violent.
Oh, yeah, and set up the stage for ladder matches to become as great and, amazing
you talk to Jeff Hardy, you talk to Matt Hardy, Edge, Christian. We're going to run out of time in this video. We'll finish that point in part 4 of the Wrestling Revolution.